Sannin Hazushi. This is the 36th and final technique on the Shinen no Maki as the way we practice it. I think it's worth noting that not all Danzaru schools and not all copies of the Shinen no Maki have 36 techniques. Many of them end at 35. But the other schools that I'm aware of that only have 35 techniques on the Shinen do practice this technique, and they put it somewhere else on another list, sometimes on the Kiai no Maki, sometimes just as a supplemental technique. In any case, we practice it as the final technique on the Shinen. 3 people are attacking me. One person is holding my wrists on one side with my arm extended. One person is holding my wrist on the other side with my arm extended. They are holding me so that a third person can come and attack me from the front. I'm going to do a front kick at that person coming at me first. The idea being that these 2 people on either side are sort of engaged already. Both of their hands are on my wrist to try to hold me in place. That doesn't mean that they couldn't attack me, kick me, or move me, or just let go of me and then attack me. But the idea is that they're holding me so that the third person, they're trying to hold me defenseless so the third person can attack me. So I'm going to deal with that person first, the one coming at me. I'm going to use a front kick. It's going to be I would prefer to use a side kick, but it may be hard to turn my hips over and get a kick in when I'm having people extend my arms out. So I really can't use any sort of twisting motion. All I have is that front line kicking motion. Where I'm kicking is going to be dependent partly on how high you can kick and the height of the person coming at you. I would say you really don't need to kick any higher probably than the solar plexus. I mean, if you're really good at a high kick and want to kick someone in the head, good, go ahead. But somewhere between the solar plexus and the knee, probably not below the knee. I'm not sure how helpful it would be just to do a shin kick, but I could be wrong. But again, I say this is probably the area you're aiming for. The knee, inside of the thigh, hips, groin, bladder, lower intestines, floating ribs, solar plexus, somewhere in that area. A good, solid shot, enough to get them to stop, at least momentarily, to react to that kick. Kicking straight ahead. Once you've kicked that person, you're going to kick one of the other 2 people. You can either use the same leg, going in for that side kick with the same leg, or switch, front kick, side kick on the other. Now I don't need to turn my hips because my hips are already turned in the way that I need to face and chamber the person on either side, so I'm already set up for that nice side kick and at a good range because if they're holding me at arm's length, I can still kind of pull and kick through as they're holding. Again, probably kicking about the same thing. Floating ribs, I would say probably the best shot, although also the knees would be a good shot as well. Going to the knee or into the floating ribs. Again, I don't need to kill someone. I'm not going to kill them with one shot. I just need to kind of drop my hand enough to react. They will probably follow up with some other attack, which we're going to deal with in just a moment. But let's start with the kicking. Practicing doing 2 kicks. I'm going to start with my hands out because they're being held by other people at full length. Front kick, side kick. Front kick, side kick. Or alternating legs. Front kick, side kick. Front kick, side kick. Idea being I have momentarily stopped the person coming at me, gotten the other person to release, and now I have this third person to deal with who's still holding onto my wrists. I've taken a belt, fold it in half, put a knot on each end, put it on the door, close it so I've got a little loop. You could also simply just take one end and just hold it if you want. But it makes a nice replication of kind of having your wrist held. Just sliding my wrist through the belt like I'm being held. Someone's coming at me, kick, kick. Now I'm going to use our variation of Takubi each. Outside wrist grab into an arm bar. So I'm going underneath like I'm doing my escape, coming around, and instead of going all the way through to a release, I'm going to turn that into an arm bar. Putting my thumb out to hook the wrist, coming all the way around to turn it over, setting up my arm bar. My elbow coming down this way. Again, using the same leg, kick, kick, arm bar. Opposite legs, kick, kick, arm bar. It's a little hard to show the last part of the technique. I would need a little bit longer belt. But what I'm trying to do, once I have that arm bar, I want to use my outside leg, the leg furthest away from them, kind of make a circular motion, corkscrewing away from them, and bringing that person in front of me. So I haven't debilitated both the other two people, but I bought myself just enough time and space to get a lock on this arm, bring them in front of me, and use them as a shield. So if either of the other two people want to attack me, they're going to have to go through and hurt their partner. So I'm using them as a shield. Again, kick, kick, armbar, shield. Or kick, kick, armbar, shield. One needs a little bit longer one to show the movement. Just do one in. It doesn't have to necessarily hook around my wrist, although it's nice to have that feeling. With the longer one, I can get that motion in of having to actually circle and get out of the way. So here I am, kick, kick, circle, armbar, and bringing it around. Do the other side, same idea. Kick, kick, coming underneath, armbar, circling around to shield. Good luck practicing Sannin Hazushi.